We want people to leave here feeling like they've spent their money well and come out of here feeling better than they did when they came in. That wall, he's dated it 1887. At the time, they would leave bricks outside and cats would walk across them before they went to fire. The particularity of the wall is that there's a mason's signature on it. When we ask them what they want, we try to make sure that they have everything that they need while they're here, that they eat well, that they're enjoying the food. The chef is actually really, really good with wines, and we do have a sommelier en place that's been trained, so I leave that part to them. The only dish that we still have that hasn't changed in the last maybe 15 years has been the French onion soup. Lamb shank, but we'll prepare it sometimes with mashed potatoes in the winter, for example. This time of year, we're doing it with a polenta. That's a little bit lighter for the summer. My dream for the restaurant has always been to be able to feed as many people as possible good food. More people try our food. We know the food is good. We know that the ambiance is really nice here, and it's just a matter of getting it out, because as many people tell me on a regular basis, they can walk by here for years and have never stopped in. Madame Valerie is originally from Alma in Lac-Saint-Jean. I've moved around a lot growing up. My father was a restaurateur, and so we moved to open new restaurants. And I've been in Montreal now since 1989, so you can say that I'm a Montrealer now. I've been working in the hospitality industry for the entire time I've been in Montreal, and opened a restaurant that's a French bistro 16 years ago. We were looking for a place to open up a restaurant 16 years ago, and we were looking on this street on Prince Arthur. There was a restaurant here. It was an Iraqi restaurant many moons ago. So we came in and we looked at it. They didn't have a liquor license or anything, but we were able to see that the locale had potential. And so we decided to do a build out. We had inspired ourselves by the bistros that we saw in Paris when we would visit there, and we wanted to recreate that ambiance here. So from the flooring that came from New Jersey, to the bathroom doors that came from the Catskills, to the Poitou chairs and tables that are directly from France, and all the rest of it. So the building took us 3 months to completely overhaul, and once we opened, it was on the 16th of August, and it's been building ever since. So we've added a little bit to the older things, but the idea being that it's a Parisian style bistro. The story with the building, we did have one wall that we found. There was a gentleman that came here to eat one night, and he was working with, I believe, McGill Architecture. And he said that he knew something about one of the walls that we have exposed, which is on the mezzanine level. He said that that wall, he's dated it 1887. He said the reason why he was able to date it like that is because at the time they would leave bricks outside and cats would walk across them before they went to fire, so you'd have little cat paws. And we have a wall up here that has a bunch of little kitty cat paws. And he also mentioned that the particularity of the wall is that there's a mason's signature on it. The wall wasn't supposed to be seen, but clearly it's been exposed, so now we can see it, and we see the signature and the kitty paws. The food that we cook and serve is traditionally French, in that it's something like a duck confit, tartare, cassoulet, coq au vin, but we are inspired a little bit by Montreal. Therefore, we might have a confit de canard that's going to be mixed with a Asian slaw salad. We do make some little twists with the ingredients that we have here and what people like locally, but otherwise we are traditional French bistro, comfort food, something that's meant to be satisfying, something you can eat more than once a week, and something that is just filling and is something that you wouldn't make at home. It's usually large portions of things, so you wouldn't make them at home, so the bistro is the place to find them. Well, when we first originally started with our menu, we did have certain things that we wanted to add that were French dishes. We have had to adapt to the local area because not everybody likes kidneys. And so even though it's a very traditional French dish, it doesn't really work out. So I have to say that what we've done is tried out different dishes, seen what works the best with people, and then we perfect that dish. For example, the French onion soup has been on the menu since the very beginning. We found ways throughout the years to make it even better than an original French onion soup, and it's become sort of one of the classics that we have here. So all our food, we try to keep it short. We don't want to have too many items. We like to have items that are repeat, so the lamb, the duck, the anglais, the classics are always going to be there. What's going to change is the seasonal side dishes or the portions that are going to be prepared for it. The only dish that we still have that hasn't changed in the last maybe 15 years has been the French onion soup. The rest of them will adjust. So we still have the lamb shank, but we'll prepare it sometimes with mashed potatoes in the winter, for example. This time of year, we're doing it with a polenta. That's a little bit lighter for the summer. So while our dishes don't change particularly, we keep to the same ones, but we'll adjust according to season if we have an arrivage of something that's very good. For example, mushrooms this summer. We were able to get a lot of wild mushrooms from suppliers, so we did do a lot of dishes that had those mushrooms in it. Well, I can describe the different dishes. For example, on the menu, we're always going to have escargot because that's a classic in French, but we'll prepare that in different ways. So, for example, right now we're doing it with Israeli couscous, with sun-dried tomatoes, with roquette, so it's a different fashion to prepare it so people can try it in a different way. For the other foods there, where we'll do a little bit different, kind of like I was saying, the lamb shank, in this case we wanted to have something that went with the plum sauce, which is kind of sweet. Some people don't like sweet as much, so we tried to balance it with a polenta that has rosemary in it. So the rosemary and the polenta are going to kind of mix that up, and it just makes for the best flavor. So really it's just a matter of finding a dish that we like. Of course we don't want our clients to get bored, so that's why we do change the side dishes sometimes, and even for making them in the kitchen it can get a little boring. So if we can find something new and exciting to bring in, we'll bring them in and try it out on a regular basis. What I want from my guests that come here, the first thing is that we're in the hospitality industry. So I want them to come here and relax. I want them to enjoy their time. I want them to, it's a privilege for us to have people come here and pay for us to cook for them and to serve them. So we want to make that an experience. We want that to be fun. We want it to be memorable. I want them to leave here thinking that they've learned a little bit about the Deux Gamins, that they've made friends, that they found a place where they found a best dish that they want, that we can recount stories. Basically, we want people to leave here feeling like they've spent their money well and come out of here feeling better than they did when they came in, essentially. The day starts pretty early. We're opening for lunches soon, so it's going to be even earlier than before. But as it stands now, the day starts with some accounting. So you do some accounting from the night before, things that were done. You do the inventory, because we purchase our things pretty much every day. There's a lot of food. We don't get many deliveries. We'd like to choose our products from different places. So there's generally a run to go get the food, a run to go get the booze that we need for the day, any serviettes, napkins, cleaning products, anything that we need. So the beginning of the day is purchasing. Then after that, we do the cleanup. So the floors are all mopped every day, cleaning the whole area, making sure everything is ready for when the guests come. Then we have the setup. So we have the mise en place in the kitchen, which is getting ready for the service in the night or at lunch, depending on if we're open or not. So while that's going on, the dining room is being done. For example, every single glass that you see on the table has been wiped by hand. So if there's glasses left over to be done, that'll be done. Each utensil is wiped by hand as well. So those are things that are being done in the dining room while the cook is cutting up the fruits and vegetables and everything else that he needs for his dinner. Then usually there's always a little bit of time in the day where we have to take care of social media, where we have to answer emails, we have to prepare the group menus, we have to correspond with our clients for upcoming reservations. We obviously check our reservations, call clients back if need be, and then the service starts. So people start rolling in, and when people come in, you know, we welcome them, we ask them what they want, we try to make sure that they have everything that they need while they're here, that they eat well, that they're enjoying the food. If they're from somewhere else, chances are we're going to give them some cues on where they can go eat, what they can find while they're here. If they're locals, then we'll pump them on any information that they have about locally and just, you know, talk with our neighbors and find out what our neighbors are thinking. So we do like to really communicate a lot with our clients as much as possible, because it's the only way for us to know how things are going and how we're doing. So there's that, and then there's the service. Then at the end of the day, of course, it's the big cleanup, put everything back in order, close out the day, have our staff meal for everybody to get fed, and then that's it. We close the shop and start over again the next day. The chef is actually really, really good with wines, and we do have a sommelier en place that's been trained, so I leave that part to them, although I have my own opinions on what goes with certain foods and so forth and so on. Essentially, we know our wines really well, and it's more a matter of understanding what the client actually wants, because they may not know. So because we have a lot of glasses by the wines by the glasses, we do give them a little bit of a degustation, and it makes it easy for them to pick. But otherwise, the wines are all selected based on being imports, because we want to have products that aren't necessarily available here and that are of better quality a little bit for the menu. And that's about it. So the wine pairing, if somebody wants to have all the explanations of the wines and where it comes from, we have 2 people in-house that can do that. And otherwise, we just go with our imports, and we do a lot of tasting. My dream for the restaurant has always been to be able to feed as many people as possible good food. So now things have changed just a little bit. The restaurant's still doing really, really well, but we've decided to add on delivery and lunch so we can reach more people, because we want to get known more a little bit locally. We did really well during COVID. A lot of the local people came by. So we just want to go further on that and have more people try our food. We know the food is good. We know that the ambiance is really nice here, and it's just a matter of getting it out, because as many people tell me on a regular basis, they can walk by here for years and have never stopped in. So I guess the goal for the next few years is to get more people coming through the doors.